Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining our EzzyBills webinar today, where we will be talking on employee expense claim and how you can, manage your employee expense claims really easily and paper. You can follow the paperless process. And today with me, I also have my colleague Lee. We will be presenting this webinar. So since this webinar is designed to talk more about how you can manage your employee expenses, we have divided it in 4 different sections. Section number 1 will be very basic, and it will take you to the basic settings of where you can configure your employees. You add if you have 10 employees, or if you have 1 employee, or if you have 2 employees, where you can add those employees in EzzyBills, where you can configure them to process anything that they would upload or anything that they would then use mobile phone click picture, and that will be processed as a spend money. So we will go to that screen first. We will see how it's done. Um, Even if you are a small business, you have a couple employees, or you are a very big business with maybe 100 employees, for both of you, that will be equally important, because all the fields, we have about 9 or 10 fields in that table. And it's very important to understand what those 9 or 10 fields stand for. So first section is about that. The next section, we will see how you can bulk add employees. So in the first section, we have done it manually. Let's say we are a small business, we add a couple employees. And then if you want to add 100 employees or 20 employees, 30 employees in one go, how will we do that? So we have recently published this new feature wherein you can add your employees in bulk using CSV file. I will be demonstrating that. Next, the third section is more generic, is to spend money transactions. I'm sure most of you would know about spend money transactions already. So, and then to conclude, in the end, we will also show you our new feature with the employee claims, which is notifications. So what we have done is when an employee submits a claim, he will be notified that your claim has been submitted successfully. And when the approver approves that submitted claim of the employee, he will be sent another notification, which is your claim has been approved. So how to configure that in your workflow, we will show you that in our section number 4. All right, so without any further ado, let's jump into the section number 1. So I will take you to my EzzyBills. This is my EzzyBills account. Which section would you add your employees to configure the setting? So you need to go into settings. And then in the settings, you have 3 different options. We will be going into approvals and expenses. This is where we will find the table, which is called as list of users or approvers. And this is the table where you will add your employees, for which you want to process employee expense claims. Please note that you can practically add unlimited employees, unlimited users. There is no extra cost for this. There is no extra or hidden cost for this. This is absolutely included in your subscription. And if you already have a live subscription, you can start away use this feature. So now let's understand the fields of this table. So now this is the list of users, right? And if you want to add employee manually, if you have a couple employees, I'll show you how to add it. So the name field, as it suggests, it's the name of the employee. Now there are different formats different companies might follow. So some might follow just the first name, some might follow first name and last name, some might follow first name and the employee ID of that employee. It totally depends on you what is the structure that you want to follow. However, we will recommend keep it as a standard structure and do not use any special characters when you're typing any names. The other use of this field is when your employee wants to use mobile app of EzzyBills, which is on both the platforms, Android and Apple iOS. So what he needs to do, he just simply needs to type in his name, which you will set in his settings. and he's configured his mobile phone app to upload employee expense claims. It's very easy. It takes you less than 10 seconds to do that setting on the mobile phone. I will show you in the coming section. I will show you how to do that as well. So why I'm explaining this is because, so if you have a employee name, let's say Martin, and then you just type the first name. So it's very easy for you to tell your employee that just type your first name in your app settings section, and then your setting is done, right? Versus if you have a spaces, if you have capital letters, small letters, it becomes a bit difficult. So the setting might affect. So that's what the name stands for. The next field is my email. Now, as the name itself suggests, my email is simply the email address of the employee who you are going to add. Now, this is the email address where EzzyBills will send notification as to, hey, Martin, your claim is submitted. And whenever the approver approves, 3 days, 4 days after, Martin will get another email saying, hey, Martin, your expense claim has been approved. So this email is the email of the employee that you are adding. The next section is approver email. As the name suggests, it's the person who's going to approve the claim submitted by the employee. Now, this approver might change with different employees. For example, if you're adding employees from marketing department, for them, the approver is going to be the marketing manager. If you're adding employees from operations department, for them, it will be operations manager. So this approver email field, the email address will change depending on which employee, which department employee you're adding. If it's a small business, or if you're a medium scale company, and if you just have one approver, you can simply have the same email address for all the 10 or 15 or 5 employees that you're going to add. The next field is business bank account number. So now this field is not really important when it comes to employee expense claims. Most of you would already know that we use this field when we are processing a spend money transaction. When we are configuring a spend money setting, that's when we use this field. And what does it stand for? Business bank account. It is simply the bank account number that you have in your accounting system. The last 4 digits you add here when you're configuring a spend money transaction. Please note, whenever you're adding a setting for employee expense claims, we will not add anything under business bank account number because it's simply not related to that setting. The next field is my expenses. Of course, this is very relevant when it comes to employee expense. My expense, you will simply tick this box. This is the differentiator. These two parameters, business bank account and my expense, these two parameters can be called as differentiator. So if you're adding an employee expense claim setting, business bank account number will always be empty and you will always tick my expense because that's an expense claim. If you were, suppose if you're adding a spend money setting, my expense, it will never be ticked. It will always be empty and you will have a number in business bank account number. The next one is bypass approval. As the name itself suggests, we have approver email address and we have bypass approval here. Now, again, it could be different from case to case basis. If I have a small business and I only have 2 employees and we have that trust factor and I don't need to approve each and every expense that they are going to upload because I will already know that they go on a day-to-day basis, there will be certain expenses. So in my case, I will simply tick bypass approval. What it will does is whenever the employee upload an expense, it will not come to me for approval. It will bypass approval and it will go straight away in my bank account. Either it's Zero or QuickBooks or MyOp, it will go straight into my bank account and I will pay that employee towards the end of cycle. If I keep it unticked, then anything that the employee is going to upload will be sent to approval for approval to the approver email address. Only after the approver approves that claim, only after that it gets exported to your accounting system. The next one is my bank account number. Now, this is the new field that we have just added, my bank account number. What it does is, suppose you have this is specifically for if you hire people for contract jobs, and then they are with you for a short period of time, and then you're shuffling between them, or you have quite a few, you have big churn, employees are coming in, and then you want to process their expense claims, and whenever you have new employees or the new people are coming up, you want to add it to your zero. This is where this field helps you a lot. My bank account, what my bank account does is, you will add the bank account information of this new employee in EzzyBills here. And you can also, when we do the bulk CSV upload, we will see this in detail. What is the benefit of this field is, when we export that expense claim into your zero, if it's a new employee and if it's if it's a first transaction, we will add this bank account information of that person in your zero or in your accounting system. So that will make your job easy to, when you're going to pay him, when you're going to claim, when you pay the reimbursement, you have all the details that you need right in your accounting system. So you don't need to do back and forth. So that's where this field will help you. You can have bank account details of employee, and if it's a new employee, EzzyBills will add it to your accounting system in financial details. Next is workflow. We will not touch it because, as you all know, we always recommend you anything with respect to workflow customizations or any additions, deletions of modifications of workflow. We ask you to get in touch with our support team and we do it for you. So we will not touch the workflow point. Next point is upload email address. Now this is automated field. EzzyBills generates this field for you once you've added the setting. And we will quickly, in the next few minutes, we will quickly see what this field is and how it creates. Each time it creates a unique email address for each employee. We will see that in a few moments. The last field is delete. If you want to delete some of your employees, if they're no longer with you, you can simply go ahead, hit delete, and once you do any changes to this table, you will need to click Save Approval. This is very paramount. Any changes you will do to this table, if you want to save those changes, you need to use the Save Approval button. All right, so let's move on, and then let's create actual employees. So let's say I have 2 employees. I want to add it in my software. So I'm going to add it manually here. Now this would suit specifically for small businesses, business owners, and tradies who are out there who want to add themselves or who want to add a couple employees. Let's go ahead and add one. So I'm going to click on Add Approver. Again, I will come to this screen again. For example, you are on your dashboard. You will go to Settings, and then you will click on Approvals and Expenses, right? And in the list of users and approvers table, you will add your employees. I'm going to click on Add Approver. That's same as adding employee. So let's say I'm going to add Matt here, Matt's email address, so that he will get notification whenever he submits a claim, and whenever his claim is approved, he will get a notification on his email address. Approver's email address, you can put in Matt's manager. And then, as we discussed before, business bank account number is used specifically for a spend money transaction. Right now, we are configuring an employee expense claim setting, so we will leave this field empty. We will take my expenses because that's very essential. As long as you have done this 4 attributes, name, employee's email, approver's email, and you've ticked my expenses, you're good to go. You can click Save Approver. As soon as you click Save Approver, you can notice that EzzyBills create an email address for this setting. Now, if you see, this email address is very different from your normal email address. So your normal email address is your username at ezzybills1.com. This will always be, the structure of this one will always be username dot employee name at ezzybills1.com, right? Let's go ahead and add one more employee. Let's say Sky. Right, so I have followed the same pattern. I have added name, employee's email address, manager's email address, and then I've taken my expenses. But in this case, I'm gonna take bypass approval as well, because anything that Sky uploads, I am happy anything that Sky uploads should go to Zero or Maya or QuickBooks, whichever accounting system I'm using straight away. So I'm going to click bypass approval here and I'm going to hit save approval. Now you can notice EzzyBills creates another email address which is again unique for this employee. So no matter how many employees you will add, all your employees will have unique upload email address, which you can give them and then ask them to send their bills or send their employee like receipts to that email address. That is option number one. You can see for Sky, we have username.sky@ezzybills1.com, and for Matt, we have username.matt@ezzybills1.com, right? So now how will they upload from an employee point of view? How will they upload their expense claim, right? We will go deep dive into that. So they get two options. Option number one is obviously the email. I can send this email to Sky and then I can just ask her to send all your receipts to this email address. Same goes for Matt. That's option number one. Option number two is they can use their mobile phone app, configure this in their mobile phone app settings, and then they can simply just take pictures. It will take really less than 10 seconds. If once the settings is complete, it will take less than 5 or 10 seconds to upload an expense claim. So how to do that? Oh, all right. So let's go and see the mobile app. So the first thing that you will need to do, if you have many employees, you want to send them instructions as to how to configure their mobile phone app. So for that, what you will do, you will go into your settings and account settings. In account settings, you will find this mobile passcode. If you're going to use it for yourself, there is one option in the mobile phone app. This is the first screen that you see on our EzzyBills mobile phone app, right? As soon as you download, either you can download it from Google Play Store or Apple Store. Once you download, this is what you will see. You have option. Option number one is you can use your username and password and then click login. Or you can use login with QR code. Now, if you have multiple employees, you definitely don't want to share your username and password of EzzyBills because for obvious reasons. So now in that case, what you can do is you can go into your account settings, click on this link here, email me the EzzyBills mobile how to. Once you click on this link, EzzyBills is going to send you a PDF file which has detailed instructions, which looks like this. Now for you, it will be EzzyBills Android app or iOS app instructions for your username. And then it will say download the app and then it has the QR code. Now this QR code is what is needed to connect your EzzyBills app with your account. So your employees, they need to, once they get this PDF file, they can follow the instruction and they can just go and scan. They can click on login with QR code, scan this QR code. As soon as they scan this QR code, EzzyBills will automatically connect it. So what happens, it's very easy process. You click on login with QR code. This screen opens up where you have a square. You just need to point it at the QR code from the PDF file, or you can also, if you're doing it for yourself, you can also scan straight away from your settings. Once you scan it, once you've done it, it will straight away connect it and it will straight away take you to your EzzyBills account. This is how it will look. This is the exact screen that looks. How to see if you're connected? In the top, EzzyBills app will say your username. So whatever your EzzyBills username is, it will show that username here. Now, this is step number one. Now, all your employees have connected their app with your EzzyBills account. Now, the step number two is configuring the setting. That is writing these names in EzzyBills phone app setting. So, and I have already told Sky and Matt, just write your name in the EzzyBills app setting, right? So what they need to do is they need to click on this little gear icon, which is on the right top. As soon as they click on the gear icon, the settings screen will pop up. They will see what is the username that they are connected to. This is your EzzyBills account username. And in alias name, we have an empty space here, right? This is a space where they will need to just simply click and type their username, type their name. So here I have an example for employee Scott. Instead of Scott, they will be Sky will write Sky, Matt will write Matt. And as soon as this is done, you just need to click on back. And then for the final step to cross check if your settings are correct, in EzzyBills app on the top, you will see the username. The employees also will see the username, and in the bracket, it will show their name. Once this is done, the setting is complete. Now, as soon as they start scanning now, it's simple now, scan now. As soon as they click scan now, the camera will open up and then you can scan an invoice and then submit it. Before that, you can also, if it's an employee expense claims, you also get the notes section on right top. Before you click a picture, you can simply click on the notes section. Like, for example, I'm an employee and I'm filing for my own expense claim, right? And I was on client side. I'm going to click on this notes section where the notepad will open up. I'm going to type the respective anything that will help approver understanding what this expense claim is for. So this employee types in here lunch on site, client site, job number, etc. And then you can click on this one again. As soon as you click on this one, the note will be hidden, or you can click anywhere on the screen to get rid of this little notepad here. And then you click picture of your receipt. That's it. As soon as you do that, it takes you really, I think 5-10 seconds, depending on how long you have to write the note. As soon as you're done, as soon as you submit, it will come straight away into EzzyBills. If you have bypass approval ticked, it's gonna go straight into your zero. And in zero, when EzzyBills will export it, it will show you the employee name and also the notes that have been mentioned by the employee. So I'm going to take you to zero screen now. So there we go. In draw spill, now you can see Scott has uploaded a reimbursement claim for $59. And then what is in comments, you say lunch on client side, job number. So in this section, when you are in your accounting system, it makes it very easy to even understand from the summary screen that why was this expense made by Scott? Because you always get the comments, you always have your employee's name, and everything is neat and clean here. For example, we have these other two claims. We can read the notes from the top: fuel expenses, office stationery, etc. So you have in a glimpse, you understand what is that expense for. Now, this is how it shows into zero. However, when it goes to approver, so for example, this employee scans a receipt and it's been sent to approval, it goes to approval. How will approver see that expense claim? Let's go and let's have a look at that. So approver is going to receive an email from EzzyBills, and please remember, this approver does not need to log in into EzzyBills, or he doesn't even need to have login in for like user credentials. He doesn't even need to know what EzzyBills is. He will just simply receive an email on his email, which will say EzzyBills email approver for Tech Advisor for your username. As soon as he clicks on that email, we will show him the receipt that was uploaded, whose expense claim it is. Now it says expense claims for BB Clo, and then there is this receipt, and then the key information. He can easily see all the key information here. So it's very easy for me to have a look at this receipt. I can see it's about $79 something. It's BB Clove. He's one of my employees, and he has mentioned some comments as well: fuel expenses, trip to North Brisbane client, etc., etc. Now I get two options. Now if I'm processing just a couple receipts, I'm an approver and I only get a couple approvals per day, I am happy to just straight away approve it from here. But if I'm approver who, there are 10 employees or multiple employees, and I get quite a few receipts, and I'm getting quite a few emails, it's not possible for me to go into each and every email, and we don't even expect that. What we ask you to do is simply go into the latest email and click on modify. Without even looking what that email is for, you can simply go and click on modify. Modify brings you onto approval screen. This is your approval dashboard screen. And this is one comprehensive screen where you get all the details that you need to approve the invoice. All the approvals which have been sent to the approver, he will see on the left side, there will be a list. As soon as he select, he will see the PDF in the center and then the details on the right. So now it's quite easy for me to see this is expense claim for one of my employees. Has he mentioned anything? Comments will always be at the bottom here. I can also see if he has mentioned any comments. If you want to add any expense claim or any tracking, if you're using job tracking, if you're using department tracking, you can use that as well. And then once you're happy, you simply click approve. Now, this becomes very easy, even if you have 20 or 40, even if you have 40 reimbursement claims to approve, it will take you less than 20 minutes or so. And one more bonus is, now this is one of the claims from BB Cliff. We are also we are in process at the moment wherein we are developing a functionality where the on the top here, we will show you some button as to history for that employee. As soon as you click approval, clicks on that button, he's going to see all the bills, previous bills from that particular employee. So that feature is still in development. We might release it in a couple of months, but that is in the pipeline. So you will also get to see the history of claims submitted by each employee during approval. And once you're done, you simply click approve. And once you've done approving all invoices, you simply close this window. That's it. Approver, now the approver is the job of approver is also done. He has looked at all the sub expense claims and he has approved all the invoices, and they will go into your zero as expense claims. So, Annette, I'm not sure if I understand your question.
Annette, I think what you ask the employee use two card. I think that's for basically process as by money transactions. So for the employee, she will need to add the same account twice. Basically log in, click setting, and then just add an account, add
Oh,
twice. Each
okay.
time would have a different alias name.
Correct. So yeah, so this is what I believe, Lee, this is what I believe she's asking. So if you're saying your employee has both, like he's also there is an expense claim and a multiple card, as in company has given him a card, so you can have two different settings here. For example, now you can see on my screen, this is actual mobile phone app screen, right? Now we can see the connected account is always highlighted in green color. Now you can see Tech Advisor, and in the bracket it's Scott. That's one setting. Now you can simply click Add Accounts. You can follow the process again, scan the QR code again. That will give you one more line of connection. And then in that connection, you can have different settings. So you in one mobile phone app, you can have multiple settings like spend money, employee expense limits. You can even upload normal bills using mobile phone app. Okay, let's move on to the next section, which is now how you can add employees in bulk using CSV file. Now, now we did understand all the fields that are here, and if it's a couple of employees, we add it from here. Now let's go and see how you can add multiple employees using CSV file. Now, to do that, what you need to do is first, you can download our sample CSV file, which is on EzzyBills website. You can easily look it up in Learn and Support in employee. Even if you go to Learn Support and just find claim notification in search, the article will pop up. You go there and you download this file. Let's open this file. So this is how that file looks, right? The file will only have the first line, which is name, my email, approver email, my bank account. Now I'm going to talk about each section and what you can have and what you can't have, some do's and don'ts about how you will fill in the file. Name, as said, everything remains the same. This is the employee name. My email, again, it's employee email. There's nothing fancy about it. Some pointers about name is you can use, it's better to use a standard format like first name, last name, or if you want to use first name space last name, that's fine as well. For example, if you want to use this one, you can use a standard format. So in this one, Matt Hardy, I have Matt space Hardy. So if I'm using this, I will keep it as standard. Let's say space first name, space last name, right? Because when you're gonna tell your employees to add these names in their mobile phone app settings, it should be very easy. So if I just go with without any spaces, that is going to be very easy for me to tell them that just type your first name, last name without any spaces. It's one word. It's very understandable, very straightforward, right? It becomes very easy, and then there are no mistakes. Um, Email address is again, you will receive for notifications, approver email, whosoever is the approver for that employee, you will have the approver email address of that approver. My bank account. Now, this is the key fee. So in this my bank account, you will add four different pieces of information, and it has to be in a specific format. It has to be in this format. For example, the first parameter is account name. So you can have any name, like name of the employee, or if he has any different account name, that's fine. Then the separator is the pipe symbol. You can see here, this is the separator. So I have the account name, then was space and pipe, which separates these two attributes. And then your BSB or sort code and account number and the reference. Once you fill information in this format, in this column, EzzyBills will automatically create all those employees and will have all this information. Now, why this information is important, I'll reiterate again. If the employee is new and it's not there in your accounting system, and we will be creating it for the first time. If it's zero, we create contact. So if it's the first time we're going to create it, we will also add the BSP and the account number information in the finance section in zero, and equivalent sections in QuickBooks and MyOp. So once you process the claim, once this employee is created as a supplier, you don't need to go anywhere else to find the bank account details of that employee. You can simply find it in your accounting software. So that is why this format and it has to be really important. And the second thing is, if you upload it multiple times, if you want to do some changes, you can always delete it from the settings, as I've shown you below. I've shown you before. You can simply delete everything. You can add it again if you think you have done some mistake. EzzyBills will ignore the duplicate entries, and it will only add if the employee is new. So you don't need to worry about duplicates. If you have uploaded one file which has some duplicates, that's fine. We will ignore it. We will only take the new employees and we will upload it to your EzzyBills account. We will create it to your EzzyBills account. All right. So do we have any questions on this CSV PDF? So we will convert. If you're making it in Excel file, you need to ensure that the format is always CSV. I will show you one CSV file which I have created and which we're going to upload lifetime. So this is the CSV file. Let's close this one. Yeah, so you can see this is my CSV file which I have created. I'm going to add these employees. Now here in my case, just because I'm testing, I have kept one sample email address, which is manager at. You can have different email address depending on the approver of the employee. All right, so let's go ahead and upload this CSV file. So the next question comes, where will you upload the CSV file? Because I don't see anything here where there is an option. So to upload that CSV file, you will need to go into apps section. Most of you know all the EzzyBills features, all the integrations that we have, everything is listed under an app section. So if at all you want to have a look of what all EzzyBills features are, you can always go into apps and you can see if there is anything new. And if you have any questions, you can always send us an email. Right. So in the app sections, you will come and you're going to find claimants, add claimants. So it's in the second row, second box. I'm going to click on add claimants. And then there you go. So you get two options again. You can either email that file or you can upload that file. I'm just going to simply upload that file here. This is my CSV upload claimant. There we go. Now it's a two-step upload. Again, I'm reiterating these points because it could be confusing. It's a two-step upload. Step number one was you selected the file. Now EzzyBills is showing you this is the file name. It's CSV. Is it the correct file? If it's not by mistake, if you have uploaded the wrong file, you can simply remove it, try again. But if it's the correct file, you see the button which is upload claimant file. I'm gonna go ahead and click on upload claimant file now, and then it shows you message approval list has been added. Now let's go in the settings and see if we have all the, there we go, beautiful. So you can see all the employees which were on that file have been added here, right? Along with their manager email address, their email address, and their bank account details. And all of them will then have a unique email address as well. The format is always the same. Username dot the name of the employee. And wherever you use first name, last name, it's gonna be exactly like that, right? So this is how you will create your bulk. If you want to create it in bulk, this is how it's going to happen. I will quickly run you through this again. We created a CSV file, so you can download the CSV file from our website. This is how CSV file looks. All the fields, all the information is pretty clear. The format in my bank account is very essential. It has a separator, which is pipe. You're going to follow the same format, BSB, bank account number, and then reference. Once you have the CSV file, you will go into your apps section where you will upload that CSV file. In apps section, you have add claimants. You're going to click browse, select your CSV file, and then on the second step, you will click on upload CSV file. As soon as you do it, everything, all the employees will be created in a matter of seconds. The next thing that you will need to do is you need to, by default, the behavior is we will take bypass approval for all the employees. Now it depends on you if you want to have approval, you can untick them. If you don't want to have approval, you can if you don't want to have approval, you can leave them as is. To add to this, if you want to also use the notification customization, wherein EzzyBills is going to notify your employee when he uploads an expense and when that expense is approved. If you want that feature, if you want to use that feature, then leave these settings as is. Once you've uploaded your employees, just get in touch with EzzyBill, just get in touch with support. The email address can be seen on the left bottom, support@ezzytalk.com. And the next part of the setting, which is workflow customization, we would do it for you. So if you're going to use the claim notification, you don't need to change anything, right? You just need, once you've done this step, once you've added your employees, just get in touch with us. We will do your workflow customizations for you. In next section, we will be talking about company credit cards. So where it's a spend money transaction. So it's quite similar. To add a spend money transaction, you need what the most important thing that you will need is the bank account number or the credit card number that is in your accounting system. And we will only need the last 4 digits of the bank account number. For example, in my zero, you can see this is my card number. This is my day-to-day card. Could be a credit card, could be a bank account, it could be anything. What you need is you need the last 4 digits, right? That's the only thing that's important. 1, 2, 3, 4. In my case, it's 1, 2, 3, 4. So if I go into the settings and if I want to add a spend money transaction setting, how I'm going to do it is I'm going to click on add approval again. And then let's say Belinda also has a credit card, like this credit card, I have given it to Belinda, right? Now, what I will do here is Belinda Amex. That's what I'm going to type in the name because that is the differentiator. And even it's easy for me to understand when I say Belinda MX, that means It's the bank account card, it's the credit card which I have given to Belinda. She's used that, and then now it's a spend money transaction. And in spend money transaction, you really don't need to fill anything in my email because we're not gonna send any notifications. Approver email is required. Again, it depends on case to case basis. It depends on your business. If you want anything that the person uploads goes to approval, you do not take bypass approval. In my case, I'm going to take bypass approval. And in business bank account, as we've actually captured this number, the last 4 digits, 1234, I'm just going to put it in business bank account, 1234. That's all you need to do. Number one, the name. Number two, business bank account number, and approval email if you need it, bypass approval if you want to bypass it. And you click on save approval. As soon as you click on save approval, you can say that EzzyBills has created a spend money transaction, and it also has created an upload email address. So this email address is unique. So now notice the difference. This is Belinda's expense claim email address, which just say .belinda, and this is Belinda's car like spend money transaction email address, which has .belinda mx. It's quite visible. There shouldn't be any chance of error here. So that's why we make it very clear that when you're configuring, write clear names. It's very easy to understand. And now all you need to do is tell Belinda to add another setting. And this was your question as well. So what Belinda will then need to do, she needs to go in her EzzyBills app, click on add account, and then she can use in add account. After add account, she will click on login with QR code again, scan the QR code. Now, once she scans the QR code, she will see another second row here in her setting. She will see another second row with only username. You will need to click on connect and then type her name in alias name. Alias name will be empty. So after she's done it, what she's gonna see two different lines. One is tech advisor, which is my username in brackets. One is Belinda, and in second one in brackets, Alinda Amex. So whenever she's uploading a spend money transaction, that is she's used bank card and then created a receipt, and then she has a receipt, right? All she needs to do, she needs to take the receipt, go to settings, click connect on the Amex one, and then click a picture, and boom, done. As soon as she clicks it, it will be processed as a spend money transaction. And when it will go into zero, it will straight away go inside the bank account in the zero, and you will see it as sitting here as unreconciled transaction. It will also have her name. Now, this is one of my old transaction which I have done, but it will straight away come here. It will have its name, Belinda Amex, and then all the details. If you go inside the transaction, you will always find the PDF file, original PDF file that was uploaded, and you will always have all the details. So that's how a spend money transaction will be processed.
Hi, Kate.
Yeah.
There's a question asking, um, basically, a company has one master credit card,
Hmm.
but then each employee has their own sub card. So
Oh,
basically, for example, for a company would have 30,
correct.
employees. Yeah.
Correct.
So can you
So
just show how to set it up?
yeah, sure. In that case, you're zero in. So if you have a group, like if you have one account, and then it has multiple credit cards, and then you have given it to your multiple employees, right? In your zero, you really don't have the actual credit card which you have given to your employees. In your zero, you have that one account which of all the credit cards are linked as child credit cards, right? So you have one group bank account. So you only need to note the last 4 digits of that. And then when you're configuring in the settings, what you will do is, yeah, it depends on you. Now, if you are a business wherein you say, I have my 20 employees and I want to know who has spent money on that card, then what you will do, you will come here, and whenever you're going to add approver, you will type the employee name. I will give you a couple of options. So for example, you can type the employee name and you can type the card number that you're going to give him or you have been given to him, right? Or you can also just go with the employee name and then CC, name, first name, last name, and CC. And in here, so this is employee number one, then you will have employee number two. So let's add three employees. So this is one of the employees. Um, Although the card number is different, but that is linked to 1, 2, 3, 4 group card in my zero, right? Now I've added one employee for this card. Now I'm gonna add another employee. Let's say it's Martin. So now notice in my zero, in your zero, you just have one group account, which might have 10 different credit cards linked to it, correct? Now, to do that, and you want to know whenever a spend money transaction is coming in, you want to know here it's coming from who, although it's related, also it's connected to same account. So you will configure all your employees and you will put the same number in your business bank account number. So what's going to happen when you put multiple employees? If you want, you can also add your card number, which you've given to each employee. Like you can do Martin 1, 2, 3, 4, Sissy, Kiranaik 5, 6, 7, 8, whatever the number is with them. So in this case, when you add 10 or 20, all these employees which are using the cards which are shared under one account, whenever they upload a spend money transaction and when it goes into your zero into this business bank account, it will be always tagged with their name and the card number as well. So if instead of Scott CC, if you have typed in, so this is what I've typed in here. If I type in here, Martin, and the card number that I have that is with Martin is, this is the card number. Then when he uploads and when it comes into my zero, into my bank account, I will see the name of the person and the card number which is with him, which is connected to the MasterCard. And it will be in here as unreconciled transaction. And then it becomes very easy to track it with which employee. The benefit of using spend money transaction setting in EzzyBills is instead of going through the long way where receipts are getting exported to draft bills in zero and then you're doing the stuff manually, it's very tedious, it's very time consuming. If you configure it once and then if you follow, you get both the options. You can use either phone or you can also use email, correct? Whichever way you're comfortable with. If you're more comfortable with sending receipts, scanning them and sending it on email, you can do that as well. But once you start using it, you will see everything coming into unreconciled transactions here as unreconciled. And whenever your bank feed comes in, it's going to be a straight match based on this amount. And then zero is going to show you straight away it's a match. And then you just go click reconcile. Okay, okay, okay. And you're done. So essentially you're looking at reconciling in less than maybe 5 minutes or so. So that's the beauty of using this feature. So Julia is asking, are we able to change their alias after they have done uploads? Essentially, what alias is, essentially you do not need to change that alias. That will be very time consuming. Imagine if you have two different bank cards, then it's very tedious or it's very annoying to remember what's the alias name and change it every time you're gonna go to upload. It's very useful if you have even three bank cards given to one employee. It's very useful that using add accounts feature, you have your same EzzyBills app connected three times. That gives you three different rows and you have configured setting for each of them. So now in here, you see all that your MX card, your Combank card, and your Westpac card, all the card. Whenever you're going to upload a receipt, whenever you've made a purchase, you created a receipt, you've used Westpac card. So you just bring up your phone app and then you will click on this little setting icon here. On the top, you will as it is see. So for example, if you have three cards, Combank, Westpac, NAB, and you come here, you open your app and you see, oh, it's NAB. Current account. Currently, I'm connected with the NAB. So if I click picture, it will be processed as a spend money transaction on my NAB card. but the card that you've used could be Combank card. So all you need to do is you're going to click on settings quickly and then simply select the Combank one. You see this connect button, you're going to click connect Combank. Takes you 2 seconds to switch it. It will bring you back onto your this screen again. And then on the top, you will see Combank, and then you just go ahead and scan the receipt. In that fashion, you don't have to remember. Your settings is already done. You just cross check, select the right one, and then you go ahead with the upload. I think we're good. Now let's move to the last section. We've used already in ours. So the last section is where we will show you setting up workflow for claim notification and employees. But as I said before, um, it's when it comes to workflow customization, setting notifications, it's doable and we would do it for you. You just need to get in touch with us on support. If you want to still have a look and if you want to know more, you can simply go on our lawn and support site and come onto this page. So we have the second point where we've explained how we will do the claim notification. As you can see, we have this workflow, which is customized. As soon as the employee submits a claim and it's successfully submitted, he will get a notification. And when the approver approves it, he will get the second notification as to your expense claim has been approved. As mentioned previously, we are also in process of developing a summary of the expense claims of previous expense claims or that employee. And also we are in process of developing one more feature wherein limit per annum total claim amount. So for example, you can set it up that for this employee, the annual claim amount should not exceed $1,000. So when you're like if it exceeds $10,000, if all these receipts in the past for that year, financial year, if it exceeds than that, we will automatically reject it and we will show him some error. We'll send him some notification, some errors. So that is still in progress. We've still not published it. Once we publish it, we perhaps will conduct another session as such as this one. All right. So and you also get the option to choose a maximum amount for each expense claim. For example, if you don't want an expense claim to exceed over $100, you can always go in your rules, wherein we have quite a few custom rules, and you can set it up there as invoice limit is $100. So if anyone submits invoice which is greater than $100, it's automatically rejected. So you can do that as well, and you can set it up depending on your need and your business. You can set it up $100, $200, depending on you. So these are quite a few functionalities which would require workflow customizations. And if you're interested in these, once you've added all your employees, you can simply send an email to support. We will then do these customizations for you. We'll perhaps schedule a meeting with you and we will do this customizations for you. I think that concludes our session today. If you have any questions or any queries, please get in touch with support, or you can also email me. I'm happy to. This is my email address. I'm displaying on the screen. I'm happy to answer your questions and queries. All right, it was great. Thanks everyone for attending this session. It was great to speak with you. Have a great day ahead. Thank you. Thank you, Lee.
Thanks for coming. Thank you. Bye.